Hello! Welcome to the Turret of Pleasure here in the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I'm your host, Zip Gunn, the Lord Chamberlain of the Enchanted Kingdom. I'm just enjoying the remnants of a bottle of Tamnavulin, single malt scotch, gifted to me by my dear friend Tommy Holliston. He, the composer of My Girlfriend's a Robot, and I'm going to give it a try. Today we're going to talk about, well, you saw the video. Everybody's been making them now. 10 records that nobody else has in the VC, aka the vinyl community. And I participated. I could probably do another one even, but I sort of went, well, what about CDs? Nobody's done one on CDs. So I'm going to do 10 CDs that it's very unlikely that you have, if not impossible, that nobody has in the CDC, which would be the compact disc community, as it were. And this was actually hard because CDs are usually made in fairly big runs. Certainly anything with a label on it is made in a big run. So some of these, again, they'll be the scale 1 to 10. 1 is you don't got this. 10 is maybe you got it if you're crazy like me. So I'm going to start with, this is a weird one, and I just found this. The one I really wanted to show you, I can't find it, so we'll have to wait. This one was acquired during a trip to the Amsterdam Holocaust Museum, which I would strongly recommend anybody there go to see. It's very moving. Certainly gives one pause when one thinks about events as they are transpiring in our neck of the woods and south of the border. Now I don't really know what this is because my Dutch is just about non-existent, but it appears to be a song. I'm not even sure what it's about. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Holocaust. It sounds sort of like a lament. I'm not sure who sings it. I don't know who Hans Krieg is. Died in 1961. The composer, it appears. But there, my Dutch kind of fails me. It looks like he was a Dutch composer. And anyway, this was there. The reason I even have this is because it was just there sort of as you walked in and out of the museum. And it said on it, this is a free gift to you, basically for coming in. And I thought, isn't that nice? Some guy made this CD, and I'm not really sure. I don't really know much about it, I will confess. And this was a long time ago. I got this at least 15 years ago. And it kicks around. It didn't come with a cover or anything. It just came like this. And I always find it, and I was going, no, I'm going to keep that. It's just one of those keepsakes. And musically, it only has one song on it. And it's kind of a, sort of an art song, I guess. But I think it mentions Amsterdam in it a few times. But there is as far as my Dutch will take me. But I keep it anyway. Number 2. Okay, this is kind of cheating. Now, I got this from my great friend Alex Solyanak, who has a great show on CFUV radio here in Victoria. Garage Grooves, I think it's called. I can't remember what he calls it. Anyway, Garage Rock from the 60s. And he had this CD. Now, he has the original. I actually went to the expedient of burning myself a copy and photocopying the cover. And this I did a long time ago, long before you could just burn a CD in your computer. I had to go to a friend who had a mastering studio and the only CD burner in town, I think. I begged him to do this. This is a really, really funny record. This is a collection. It's from Japan on Honest Abe Records. I've never heard of it. And it is a great cross-section of an art form that is long gone. And that is the musical in-house corporation or in-house corporate musical. Now, what I mean is, for example, you have American Standards, the people that make toilets, doing a song called My Bathroom is a Private Kind of Place. And it's big budget. My bathroom is a private kind of place. And she goes into rhapsodies about how great her bathroom is. Look at This Tub by American Standards. There's an amazing song called Tractor Driving Man by the Ford Motor Company, which is pretty good. It's ridiculous. The Most Beautiful Girl in the World by Bold Detergent. Saints Go Marching In by Mary Kay Cosmetics. And then there's the sort of rock opera at the end. Up Came Oil by Exxon. I swear Jimmy Durante is on this. Now, these are big budget, huge sound, orchestras, choruses, God, you name it. These must have cost a freaking fortune to make. And the last one, The 8 Seasons of Chromolux. Chromolux being, I do believe it was an air conditioning company. And it's like an amazing little sort of rock opera or whatever. My Ultra Bath by American Standards. Dance the Slurp by 7-Eleven. This is great. I put this on mixtapes and stuff for people. Everybody goes, what is this? I'm going to give, the first one I'm going to give about a 3. This one I'm going to give about a 2 because I've never seen another copy of the legit one. And it was from Japan and I think it was suppressed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, number 3. Now this one is going to be maybe a 2. This is a compilation of songs that were featured on the CBC radio program Nightlines over a period of years. Nightlines was a great radio show on the weekends, late night, run by my buddy David Wisdom. It was a little bit of everything. It was a lot of fun. It would start at usually, I think, 10 or 11. It sort of varied. And it would go straight through to like 6. And the beginning of the show was always kind of the more planned out. I don't know how planned out the rest of it. He would play lots of strange stuff late at night, which I love. But the beginning of the show, he had a feature called 10 Singles in Alphabetical Order, which he did religiously forever. He did a great series called The Hour of Power, where he would invite lunatics such as myself in for an hour to play whatever we wanted, which was a lot of fun. Boy, let me tell you. And, the fact that your taxpayer dollars were paying for this made me laugh. And somebody in the CBC at some point decided it would be a good idea to put together, and at the beginning of every show, I should have mentioned this, he would often start the show with a Nightlines theme written by one of his listeners, usually over the phone onto an answering machine or whatever. Well, not to be outdone, I decided I would do one in my studio. And I did a song about Nightlines, where I got a couple of details wrong. It's not on Robson Street, it's on Hamilton Street. Hamilton Street didn't scan, so I said it was on Robson Street. And they put it together. Cub is on it, Chicks Dig It, me, Zumpano, Veda, Hilly, the Rheostatics, Ray Kondo, the Ricochets, the Smugglers, Copyright, Furnace Face. There's a lot of really good people. Pluto, Jail, Primrods, Jerry, and the Sons of Rhythm Orchestra, Friends of Freedom Orchestra. Anyway, this was all put together, and apparently it was, Gary Heel, Dick Bird, Richard Champagne, Todd Elvidge produced the show a lot. And anyway, this was all ready to go, and apparently, the way I heard it anyway, the lawyers at the CBC put the kibosh on it, and I was really disappointed. And David, out of the goodness of his heart, sort of smuggled me this copy, which there might be, I don't know how many copies of this out there. Probably not very many. I'm going to give that a 2. Okay, going into rarefied air. Holy smoke. Now this, sticking with the CBC Nightlines thing, train of thought, this was the first CBC Nightlines session, because another thing Nightlines would do is they would get bands that they liked in for a recording session in their unbelievable state-of-the-art studio. You just had to see to believe. And they would come in and they would pay you union scale, which was there's a whole nother story there because I wasn't in the union. And they paid us for 3 days of recording, and we did this. Now, I've made this cover. This cover is entirely of my design. And I don't think this was official policy, I managed to wrangle a CDR of it, which I have preserved to this day. And I pretended it was on Mercury because a friend of mine went to work for Mercury briefly, which was kind of a fun thing. And we did I think it was 8 songs. The band in question was Father Tom Holliston, who was the titular head of the Show Business Giants. Myself on mostly bass. Ken Kempster on drums. He formerly of Shovelhead, of course. Ford Peer and of No Means No. What am I thinking? Ford Peer, who has played with everybody in the known universe. DOA, I think, was his gig at the time. Dave Wisdom actually plays piano on one track, which is loads of fun. And we do, what do we do? Beam with B-Man. We do A Walk in the Black Forest by Carl Jankowski, which was a tour favorite. A Ford song, a crazy one called Albania from the second tape. Our song that I wrote, which kind of doesn't really fit in, but whatever. A great song Tom wrote called The Germans Have a Word for It. An insane song that only appears here, Canopic Jars, which is a real crazy thing. The Hanson song You Are a Leper, and Tom's song My Hometown, and then the epic, which I don't think made it on an album, My Woman, My Gun Rack, and Me. In impeccably good sound. Boy, the sound is good on this. We recorded this on a friggin' $800,000 AMEC mixing board with I think it was a 1-inch Studer 48-track digital reel-to-reel machine that we only used half the tape of because some other band used the other 24 tracks. And I got paid lots to do this. I think it was about $400. And I think that's the only copy of that in existence. Someday we'll put it out if somebody ever cared about the Show Business Giants. But as you will probably read in the new book about No Means No, there were doubts in the industry. Next, okay, this one has me. I haven't played it. I'm afraid to play this CD. I found this, I think it was in a free pile, and it's one-legged stand-up comedy by an amputee. Now, I looked this up on the internet, and it does not seem to exist anywhere. It is an actual manufactured CD, 2001. Joshua Sundquist. Amputee Thug is one of the tracks on it. Free bonus song. Get it online. I haven't tried that either. Yeah. You know, what do you say? I collect comedy records. I'm a little bit afraid to play this because it might be truly awful. But it might be hysterically funny. You never know. We're going to keep it just for that. How many is that? I don't know. That's probably 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to cheat. The next 5 are all by the same guy. But there's a great story behind him and them. And we will start with the man's name. And you may have heard of this. Maybe a 3. This is Neckbeard. And Neckbeard is my dear old friend Kelvin Dick, who I've known since he was about 16. And he has played in many bands. He played in the Vinaigrettes. He played with the Show Business Giants. He produced a Tom Holliston record recently. And he played in a couple of bands with me way back in the day. We played in a band called Purple City. He played in a great band called Fracas as the drummer. An amazingly good drummer, very humble fellow. And he lives in Victoria, and he's sort of retired from playing live. Has a steady job. It makes it tough to do anything really creative, touring-wise. But he stayed at home, and he makes what is kind of it's sort of hip-hop, or groove music, but with a real twist. For example, this one. Now, this one he actually, I think, made 300. I thought it said somewhere. So this was actually kind of almost available. That doesn't say. There's the picture of Ernest Borgnine on the tape reel. I don't think he used reel-to-reel tape. I think he used a 4-track for this. Manufactured CD. There's the great. Is that Oliver Reed? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's got a great sense of humor, this fellow. And these records are fucking brilliant. This one was actually, I believe it was sold in local stores, maybe briefly, maybe it was $5. But then he set his sights a bit higher, and he decided to make a real, honest to God, plastic box CD. And he came out with, and he always changes the name of his label. What was this one? This one was on MK Ultra. This one was on the new label, Massage, which has a great logo of a guy holding a boom mic. And this one's called Sexpo. And this one, I think he made 500 of this. Now, the thing about Sexpo was, the other great thing is he found a roll of numbered stickers. And he get them made, I think. Official Sexpo. I've got number 68, which is a damn shame because I really wanted 69. Yeah, there's the credits. Drums, bass, keyboards, tape loops, 50-cent records, barrels of ale. And I can attest to the barrels of ale. Chairman Shandy Wanks Jr. chats with one of the many Sexpo volunteers just moments before the unveiling of the flagship Priapus exhibit. I mean, this is really great. And this is more of this. Well, they're all very similar. They're very short. They use snippets of dialogue from movies, and which is a little bit old hat now. But this is, of course, what year was this? Oh, there's no date on this. What am I thinking? These are 2000 or even before that, 90s. And this one, you actually had to write Neckbeard a letter using an actual letter or postcard, none of this email nonsense, and request it. And he would happily mail it to you. And when he ran out, they were gone. I still find these occasionally in the thrift stores. I can't recommend it highly enough. Then now we're going to get into, these are all ones, folks. Because I am privileged to be a confidant. We have You Girl. No, I made this, or he made this cover. I made the cover on the back, which I'm not going to show you because it'll get my channel banned. That's technically the back cover. Now this You Girl is one of a bunch of CDs where he, prior to Pleasure Steward, he had made cassettes. And here's one, No Guitars. And I made these. There's only one copy of this. This also has a cover that I can't show you on camera, sadly. And, oh, wait a minute. But this one, he actually did put this one out in a very limited, no, have I got the right? Yeah. And this was just called Neckbeard. This was also a proper release. No samplers. 1998, this one is. So, yeah, 98, 97. And, again, 17 songs ranging from 53 seconds to 3 minutes and 5 seconds. The early stuff has bits of blast beat grindcore in it, in addition to the funky stuff. I don't even really know what this is. This is, I think, another collection of the cassettes. There were 4 of them. And then there is this. Now, he floated the idea of doing a double CD that included Pleasure Steward, the first one, and the Neckbeard one that shares this cover. But he only ever made one, and I got it. So there's the actual printed Neckbeard CD, and that is actually a picture of him playing the drums a long time ago. And again, there's your Pleasure Steward CD. But he made this special cover, and this was sort of an idea he had, I guess. And he sort of decided against it. I'm not sure why. Track listing and everything, excellent. He probably has one. I know he often makes copies of physical media specifically for me because he knows I like it. Now, the good news is after all of these Neckbeard records, he then put out one where he sort of put the Neckbeard persona to rest, and he did a CD called Crownland, which I forgot to get out. And then he did a couple on his own under the name of Calvin Dick. These are available on Bandcamp. Anybody can get them. He, lovely fellow that he is, he actually made me a CD with a real nice glossy cover. And I guess that's the only one in the world too. Are they easy to get? Should I risk my life to get them down? Yeah, where are they? Right there. That's it there. So, yeah. So, and again, these are, yeah, there we go. 4. Isn't that nice? What a pal. One of my dearest friends. I live with the ghost of Claudine Melgrave. Right. I can never remember the name of this one. This is available on Bandcamp. I think it's free. Go listen to it. Get back to me. I'll bet you like this. I find this stuff really great in the car. It's sort of great chill out dance music. This one is the Poison Chalice, right? And again, he's got like shiny Kodak prints glued to the outside car. These are one of a kind. I don't even think he made one of these for himself because he just plays it on his computer. So there you go. Wow, isn't that cool? And this is also available, Calvin Dick Poison Chalice, on Bandcamp. You should listen to it. It's excellent. I have this stuff. I love this stuff in my car because I put everything on shuffle mode. And it comes around and it sounds, there is an absolute signature behind his beats. And I'll be listening to it going, what is this now? And within about 5 bars, I hear the rhythm and I go, this is Calvin. I can just tell it. All of this stuff is just A+. It's really good. The really funny part is Discogs actually lists all the Neckbeard records, but they've never sold one. And there's a mystery there that I managed to clear up. Calvin himself thought it was a website to list your stuff, not to sell it. So he put it all on, even though there's none out there to sell. So yes, you can find Neckbeard on Discogs, and if you're wondering why they've never seen one for sale, that's because they've never seen one for sale. So there you have it, 10 CDs that I'll bet none of you out there have, and they're all great, and probably not worth anything, which is janked by me. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and take care of each other. Try to be good people. The world needs tolerance, so practice tolerance. That's what I say. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button, and I'll try to figure something else to talk about later. Thanks for watching.